Hi there. If you haven't been paying attention, something pretty strange has been happening to a game I grew up playing. Skyrim has somehow become an online role-playing game. More specifically, Keizaal Online. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not really a role player, and I wasn't looking to spend 3 hours sitting in a tavern pretending to drink ale. I just wanted to make a Breton, disappear into the mountains, live off the land, and see if Skyrim survival fantasy still existed. Turns out, this isn't really multiplayer Skyrim, it's something else entirely. Meet Sir Cedric Beaumont, retired Breton knight from High Rock. My goal was simple: stay out of everyone's way, find somewhere quiet to live, earn an honest living, and hopefully avoid becoming one of those people that spends 4 hours role-playing a political debate in a tavern. Needless to say, things didn't go exactly according to plan. I figured I might just start off my playthrough trying to hunt around Riften. That's when I realized you have to be a hunter. Okay, fine, I'll mine some ore maybe. That was when I realized you have to be a miner. Okay, maybe I'll just make a few potions with all the flowers I've been picking while I walk around. Alright. I'll at least sleep in this abandoned shack, the alchemist shack. Surely this would be a great starting place to kind of learn the ropes on this server. Nope, the bed doesn't work. And at this point, I wasn't entirely sure what I was allowed to do. So naturally I ended up walking around and picking more flowers for like the next 30 minutes, I'm not even gonna lie. Until I made my first friend. Long story short, I ended up explaining to him that I felt kind of clueless just wandering around picking flowers.
I'm gonna be real with you. That's how I felt my first day or two, and then I started doing my profession, and it's been a lot better. By the way, let me introduce myself. If you look at me and hold X, you can introduce yourself as well. Cedric, nice to meet you. My name is Green X. To be fair, you look like a scared rabbit in the corner, so I had to talk to you.
After my first run-in with Greynets, I ended up going with the Hunter trait because I figured that was basically going to fulfill the survival fantasy that I was trying to go for in Keizaal Online, and it ended up being pretty good match, I would say. I started learning the ropes of going to the different merchants spread out throughout the different holds and stuff like that. You know, Whiterun, Riften, Solitude. Pretty much the prices for goods vary at every single hold that you'll go to, which was something that I had to learn myself. I have to say though, despite the rough and extremely humble beginnings that everybody seems to have to go through on this server, it felt so rewarding to finally get a full set of leather armor. Now I did end up supplying all of the materials which I had to farm up myself, but that wasn't really that big of a deal because me and Greyneds were working out a trade deal with one of the towns nearby in Riften. This Khajiit was kind enough to basically cover the cost of making the armor for me. Now, hear me out on this next part. I know the Skyrim role-playing scene gets a lot of bad rep, especially with the overabundance of trolling and Skyrim RP videos that are coming out right now. And me, myself, personally, I was telling myself I will never get into that. I don't think I will ever enjoy it, and I don't really want to waste my time trying to do it. But, and a huge but, I was actually pleasantly surprised by how interesting some of it can be. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not like a huge stickler for super serious roleplay, but you have to at least pay attention to a little bit of it if you want to know what's going on inside of Keizaal Online. Eavesdropping on public conversations is the best way to get your news for the server. And of course, I do have an example for this. I think the coolest interaction I seen and witnessed was right outside of Riften. There was a group of Dawnguard soldiers, a group of Riften Guard, and a small traveling group from the Mages College that all showed up and kind of congregated together outside of the main gate. And I'm telling you, these guys were so paranoid about vampires roaming around, and they were basically more or less filling each other in inside of the different regions of the different holds. I found myself sitting there for almost a good 25 minutes just kind of listening in on what they were saying, and I started to realize, man, I'm glad I kind of picked up on this stuff, because otherwise I would not have known that there's a roaming group of murderous bandits and cannibals and vampires on the loose in Morthal and roaming around in Riften. Now, outside of the serious role-playing stuff, there were a few goofy and more casual incidents that I found myself in the center of, and I really didn't mind them as somebody who's not too big into the role-playing stuff. Like, I've even tried playing tabletop Dungeons and Dragons before, and I cannot, it's something I can't force. I know that I'm not very great at it, and I just don't get too into it. I kind of just get more embarrassed than anything. The way that most of these encounters come off naturally, and it seems like most of these people don't take themselves too seriously, despite what you might think, seeing a lot of the Skyrim trolling videos. I would say the general consensus of the community is that most of these people are willing to help you learn the systems and how Keizaal Online works. You just gotta kind of go out of your comfort zone and ask for help for the most part. And, you know, when I first started making this video, I kind of had no idea what direction I was really going to go with it, so I guess this more or less just turned into a review video of Keizaal Online, which I think I'm fine with, and I hope a lot of you guys are okay with it too. But I would have to say it's like a 7.5 out of 10 experience, maybe an 8 if you're like really into this kind of stuff, but just keep in mind the gameplay and the pacing is going to be slow, and you are going to have to grind out your skill before you can make a lot of wealth. But the ultimate trade-off with that though is every piece of gear that you end up acquiring is going to feel super rewarding. Just be careful not to get mugged by bandits and lose it on the road. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you around.